I'm Paul Gipe, and I've been driving electric for 8 years. And the reason I like driving an electric car is because it's so much fun. It's like being a kid again. And I know that I'm helping Kern County clear the air.
As part of the U.S. Department of Energy Clean Cities program, the San Joaquin Valley Clean Cities Coalition has been at the forefront of EV charger expansion through our industry-led partnership, the San Joaquin Valley EV Partnership.
So as a traveler who uses their EV to travel, what is the farthest trip you've ever taken?
We've taken a 750-mile trip, round trip to Chico and back to Bakersfield, and that trip required us to charge a couple times going up and a couple times coming back, and then we had, of course, started with a 100% charge, and it's all doable today. Routes north and south in California are very easy to do an electric car now.
Since 2012, our EV partnership has developed the market for EVs throughout 9 counties in Central California. As a result, EV chargers are becoming more and more commonplace in our cities, towns, and along our highways. This is great news for EV owners as it enables true freedom of movement on a level that was not possible a few years ago.
I imagine you probably have to plan for that, or is there any type of planning that you do for these trips?
Yeah, I use planning software. I use a Better Route Planner. That's the planner that I prefer to use, and it estimates how much electricity you'll consume for each leg of the trip. And if you need to charge along the way, it will tell you where the charge stations are located and how long you need to charge at each location.
EV owners can now find chargers at restaurants, hotels, grocery stores, and along the major highways. EV owners can even find chargers in Yosemite National Park and its gateway communities. What is just as great is that these chargers are available 24/7. That means no matter what time you find yourself traveling and in need of a charge, you can pull up to a station and get charging.
Do you think there would ever be a time where you would not travel in your EV?
No, this is the only car we drive. It's an EV. It's what we use for doing everything that we would with an automobile.
What sort of advice would you give to someone who wants to travel in their EV?
Plan carefully and drive the plan. Just like a pilot in an airplane, you want to plan your route, plan your charge stops, and drive that plan, and that reduces range anxiety. You have very little anxiety if you know exactly what you're doing. And if you don't have experience charging the car, well, make some practice runs. Drive out to the nearest charge stations, plug in a few times until you're familiar with it. That way you don't have the anxiety of not knowing what's coming next.
Most EVs have navigation systems that can help drivers locate nearby charging stations. There are also many apps and websites. For example, the Clean Cities Alternative Fuels Data Center has both an app and website that are popular, easy to use, and reliable. Other reliable apps and websites include plugshare.com and a betterrouteplanner.com. The era of range anxiety is no more. So get in your EV and get traveling.
What is one thing that surprised you about driving them?
Well, one is they're so much fun. It rekindles your excitement about driving. It reminds you of what it felt like when you first learned to drive. You charge them at home. You don't have to go to a gas station. They're just much more fun to drive, and you'll find, I think, that if you have an EV, that you want to use it. You want to go explore the world like you did when you were a young person first learning to drive.
Bon voyage, and do not forget about these resources for EV drivers.